and welcome to the Pro Laugh Podcast. I'm comedian Michael Halcomb, and I'm here with Brandon Latak. And this evening, we got a good episode coming up for you. We are going to talk about a woman who was arrested for texting. We're going to talk about animal genders in children's books and people homeschooling at Disney. Among other things, we're going to give you an update on what's going on with us comedy-wise, so stay tuned.
It's the Pro Life Podcast.
It's pro-life, a movement and a podcast. It's pro-life.
All right, welcome to the Pro Laugh Podcast. This is the Pro Laugh movement where we're trying to find the funny in everything. So, Brandon, what's up?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing all right, man. Trying to, get some new color going on in the background here, working with this.
Nice.
What do you think?
I like it. It looks like you're like next to a squad car, but looks good. Probably accurate.
Yeah, man. Yes, next to a squad or sitting in the back of one.
I like it though. Adds a little different touch to it. It's cool.
Yeah. Well, I was going to do that looks purple, doesn't it, behind me?
At the bottom, it looks blue. Up top, it looks purple.
Yeah. Okay. That's what she said. And red. Anyways, yeah. So let's see. We're going to talk about comedy to kick it off here. How's shows and whatnot gone for you the past week?
Good. Great. So let's see. I've been working actually on quite a bit of new material at open mics, and that's gone really well. So I know you helped me with the joke last week about the college roommate peeing in the bottle. That one.
Yeah.
That ended up doing pretty well. And it's funny because the tag you told me, you're like, it's not that funny. I'm like, I'll try it anyway. You were correct. It was not that funny. It bombed like 3 different times, like that tag. So yeah, we're going to bury that one.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, keep it somewhere in the chamber because you never know, right?
Never know. Yeah.
But I totally get that. So you did 3 mics last week, right?
Yeah, I did 3 mics last week. Yeah. And that's, it's helpful too of almost like the stage presence, but you almost kind of get in a rhythm after a while,
right?
Especially like on that, that third one, start to get a lot more comfortable.
Yeah. Right on. I did my first open mic in probably 5 weeks, or first time on the mic in like 5 weeks.
How was it?
It was good. It was a completely new venue for me. And I got there a couple hours early because somebody told me go early. It fills up fast. Evidently, the comedians around here have a texting chain. So one person goes and then, there was like 30 people. There's 30 in the lineup, I think. So
wow.
It is a long, you get 4 minutes, but
okay.
I walked in literally at 6 on the dot when it opened, and I went to sign my name and I got 21st. And he was like, oh yeah, these people were on the text list. And I was like, oh, that sucks. Yeah. So,
okay. So you're 21.
Also, what's interesting about this particular mic, it doesn't matter where you sign up on the list. They order the show like in groups based on like who they think is going to keep the show going. So it's kind of fascinating.
So they're trying not to have a huge lag in the show, like too many duds.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, so I think that's smart to do. And I was told all the mics in this area are that way. So pretty fascinating. But when I walked in and signed up, the guy was like, hey, there's a workshop starting in like a half hour. If you want to come, you get 90 seconds to go up and tell material, and whoever's here will give you feedback. So cool. I did that. I didn't know any of these comedians. I just went and did it anyway. And I tried a bunch of local jokes, new jokes I've written. I had like 8, 9, 10 of them, I think.
What'd they think?
And they hated them. So, I read the room and I was thinking, well, they're probably more representative of the audience than not.
Right.
So I cut like 8 out of 10 of those jokes and kept 2. And I totally switched my setup.
Mm-hmm.
And then I put those 2 that I kept, the new local ones, next. I didn't know if they would work. They bombed in the workshop. And then I followed them immediately with a joke I know that works.
Okay, so you kind of sandwiched them, put them in the middle?
That's right. This is in the biz what they call a crap sandwich, or you can use the other word. Have you ever heard that phrase, crap sandwich?
Crab sandwich? No. Sounds good
Yeah.
though.
Yeah. So it's the idea, right? You're putting a crappy joke or a new joke you're not sure about between two that work, so that if you win the crowd, maybe lose them, and then you win them right back.
Okay.
So
I have a crab sandwich then, I guess. I have a opener that's pretty good and a closer that's pretty good.
so the whole set's a crap
Yeah,
sandwich.
the rest is like tomato, meat.
Yeah. That's funny. So that happened. My set went pretty well, except for those two new jokes. Yeah, I had one person in the audience that was really loving everything I said.
Oh yeah, you sent me the recording. They did. They loved it. You were like a funny guy.
Yeah. That's always interesting when there's just one person that's like belly laughing and the rest of the room is giggling or whatever. So
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, that's awesome.
Got some stuff coming up this week.
Yeah, yep. So I've got 4 sets coming up this week, 4 open mics, and something I'm going to do is I'm going to record on Wednesday as well.
Okay.
So I have a little bit of recordings, but yeah, I really need some recording for content too.
Yeah, nice. So what gear do you use to record?
So I'm going to bring a tripod, Sony A7 III.
Okay.
And then with basically, what's your thought on that? Like for the lens, should you show the entire stage or should you almost zoom up to where you're going to stand? What's your thought?
That's why I always take 2. So I have a camera like that with a lens, right? And then I got a hot shoe that I put on top of that allows me to put my phone on top of it. And so I put the phone in vertical mode, which is what you want to use for, shorts and reels and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But I think you want the horizontal mode for a nice clip to send to bookers. So I would say when you're thinking about the camera with the lens, go with whatever the best composition is.
Okay.
Yeah,
that makes sense. And then one other question I had for you is, do you do a lav mic at all?
I don't know.
You don't? Okay. What's your thought on that?
Yeah,
if it's inside you.
I think they tend to look weird, dude. That's
okay.
why.
Even if you hide them?
I wear my onstage thing is like a gray tee with a pocket. So I could hook it there or there, but I just think they look weird.
Looks like you're giving a TED talk then at that point.
Right. So I'm not really a fan of them. And then you have people who wear them with like the big bushy furry thing.
That thing, yeah.
The wind filter or whatever. It's like, dude, it's not windy inside the comedy club.
Depends how many bombs are going off in there.
Like you could potentially set it on a stool, I don't know if you could hold it in your hand with the mic. That could be another option. But I think if you're going to wear a sweatshirt like that, you might be able to hide it more. But
yeah, usually I was thinking I'd put it kind of tuck it here so then no one would see it.
Yeah. I just think seeing it's kind of tacky a little
Agreed.
bit.
Yep.
Yeah. So I also, for a while, I would take my phone up when I didn't have it on the hot shoe and sit it on the stool and just use the audio recorder.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Because the camera audio, I don't know about your camera, but the Sony A7 III, great photos and videos, but the mic on it is brutal.
Exactly. Yeah, the mics usually aren't very good. So I always have the camera going, whether it's on the stool or on the hot shoe, and it's going to pick up decent audio. So,
okay, cool.
That's one of the things that sucks about like not having a camera person. In Hawaii, my buddy did it. He always went to my shows and did that for me. But now I'm like back on my own, and that kind of sucks. So
yeah,
I didn't even record a video recording of last week; just did an audio recording.
So right before your set, you almost have to go hit it and then go on stage, then, huh?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, exactly. The other crazy part of that is you got to worry about somebody stealing your camera. Like, And
you
when
imagine
you're in
mid-set?
dude, yeah, when you're in like last week, I was in a venue. There was easily over 100 people there, right? And the camera could have just gone missing instantly if I had left it there. So I'm not going to use a camera in that venue, I don't think, unless I have somebody there working it.
Yeah. That's a great open mic, though. Over 100 people?
Yeah, it was packed out. It was packed
Man.
out. Yeah. So yeah, yeah, I don't know if I'm doing a mic this week. I might. I have a show coming up in Louisville in a week and a half, so I need to really start locking down my. By the way, there was 2 comedians, me and another person, another guy for this event, and I just saw today. They didn't even tell me the other comedian vanished from the list. So, looks like I'm going to be flying solo for the comedy.
How many minutes is it?
It was 15, and now I don't know if they're going to give me more or expect
my
more
goodness. Oh, wow.
or what. So I need to check in tomorrow and see what's going on with that.
Could be doing a half hour.
Yeah, so I don't really want to do a half hour there, but we'll see what happens.
Do you have enough for a half hour?
Yeah.
You do? Nice.
I've done 1 hour. I think I could probably do an hour and 15 if I had to.
Hour and 15? Okay. You stutter a lot?
Well, that includes taking a couple breaks for crowd work too. So
Oh, sure. Yeah. Actually,
Yeah.
hour long. Yeah, that might give the crowd a rest a little bit with
it does.
crowd work.
Yeah, it does. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. And as you know, I'm working on a new sitcom. Those of you watching or listening, I sent Brandon a text of this new joke I was working on, and he wrote back and said it reads more like a sitcom than stand-up. So I've been laughing about that all week every time I think of it.
We're pretty brutally honest with each other with jokes, which is super helpful though, because you know the honest opinion as opposed to somebody pumping your tires and you go up there and bomb with it. You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, the not being honest is really just setting the other person up to bomb.
Yes.
Like, so yeah, if you're watching or listening and you're interested in comedy, then I would say try your darndest to find someone who will be brutally honest with you in this way.
But then also somebody that is willing to almost help as well. Because there's also sometimes where there's people that like crapping on things, but then not helping out.
Yep.
Or, you know, giving ideas of how it could be better.
Yeah, I feel like with me and you, right? Like we're always texting jokes back to each other and like work with the implication of like, hey, workshop this, you know?
Yeah.
You know, blast it to smithereens if you need to, but also say what works and give ideas that might help.
Yeah.
So
usually one of yours is Brandon, put a joke within the first 3 sentences, please.
To the fact that you're actually doing stand-up.
Right.
Yeah.
I always thought a funny opener would be something like you go up there and you say like, I actually don't do comedy, but this is the only way I could get in front of this many people to sell Mary Kay.
I had one like Hawaii based that was like essentially like, now that I've got you all here for this timeshare, you know.
Oh yeah, that's perfect.
So that's kind of fun. But dude, I don't know if I'm ever gonna get over, and I feel like it's like a mental block for me, and I don't know if I'm ever gonna get past it, but I just struggle to write openers, dude. Like they are just the hardest thing, like for me. Like I don't struggle necessarily to write them for other people, but writing openers for myself, so freaking hard.
What do you think the block is?
Don't know. I'm not exactly sure. Like I said, if I try to write an opener for somebody else, I can do it easily, like with ease. But so
could you almost pretend like you're writing it for somebody else? Sounds weird, but
I don't know how to do that. I mean, actually, I sent in 2 mini sets, 6 jokes each. I sent 2 texts this week to a famous comedian to pass on to another famous comedian, and who's got a television show, because this guy told me, hey, write some jokes, I'll send them with your name on them to this guy. And the first 6 I sent, the comedian responded and said, those are good, just need be a little sharper. So I was like able to write in this person's voice from this comedian's perspective, and then I sent another batch of 6 jokes today and didn't hear anything back. So I don't know if I will, but I can do that. I can tap into somebody else's persona and do that. And I think this week I was actually just recording today for for the Messed Up to Setups podcast with another comedian, and we were talking about persona. And this comedian Mike Lucas, he talks about like he says like when it comes to persona, like his strategy for doing that is to say like Michael Halcomb the blank guy, right? And you fill in the blank, like So I think that's pretty helpful, like to think of it that way. Say it again.
Have you had enough time to come up with that yourself?
Yeah. So the one that I was like talking about, like, I think like who I am as well as who I am on stage, like who I'm in life and on stage is like kind of like an earnest mess, And then so we were talking about that. He's like, earnest sounds kind of uppity. And I'm like, okay, that's helpful. So we're like reasoning through it. And what hit me is like, because I started to tell him like, look, dude, I'm just a super transparent guy. Like I just say, direct to like say, what I'm thinking and feeling. And I was like, that's it. The transparent rather than earnest, right? So the transparent mess. And I think that gets like really at who I am in a lot of ways, especially with my comedy, because my jokes come out of like the messed up situations I create for myself or find myself in, or the messed up things I'm seeing in life. And
in real life, I mean, there's just random stuff that seems to happen. Like this stuff happens to everybody, but you're like, your wife's tire will blow out and then you're about to go on stage, or like you're at Walmart, we're supposed to record, but then you're at Walmart. I don't know what you're doing. Someone stole your tire or something. I don't know. But like, there's crazy stuff going on all the time. There's black bears like in your backyard.
It's so true, dude. Like just there's always a mess, like some mess I'm finding myself in. And, I'm just like transparent. I talk about that. Like I tell it. And so I think that's like gets at it, the transparent mess. Michael Halcomb, the transparent mess guy. Right. And so that's kind of interesting to me. And I'm curious, I don't know if you can do this sort of on the spot, but if you had to do Brandon Latek, the blank guy, what would you think you would put in there?
I would say the hopeless dad, like the self-deprecating, hopeless dad.
The self-deprecating, hopeless dad guy. All right.
Yeah, but I don't really like self-deprecating because in comedy, it's funnier when somebody doesn't know that they're like an idiot. But I present that I'm self-deprecating, but I don't want to let them know I'm in on the joke kind of,
Right.
Then it becomes a comedy skit.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. So what do you need? Do you even need you said self-deprecating what?
Oh yeah. Almost the hopeless dad kind of. Yeah. The hopeless
What
dad.
about just like the hopeless family guy?
Yep.
That's kind of interesting.
Yeah. Family guy. Cause I talk about my wife a lot too.
Yeah. So family guy. And then it's just like, what's the descriptor before family guy? Right. Yeah. The buffoon family guy, like the clueless family guy.
Almost clueless. Yeah, that's what it is. The clueless family guy.
Yeah. So,
right. Which on some level it's true. Because like on the weekends, my wife is literally telling me what's going on. Like she runs the show like on schedules and stuff. But
right. Yeah. So I think that's a good exercise to like think through that and reason through that and try to like pin something down. But that helped me, like the transparent mess.
Isn't it easier to write from that persona too? Because you can almost think, all right, here's the perspective I'm coming from. Like how would that person react?
Yeah, how would I react? And like where in this is it clear that I'm a transparent mess? Right. So we'll see. We're gonna both workshop some jokes here in a minute. So I think it'd be fun to maybe like see if the personas we're talking about should come through in those.
Oh, sure. Yeah, that's a really good idea.
Yeah. So I think we were going to talk too just for a minute about, stand-up comedy and the sort of ups and downs of it and how success in this arena isn't linear. I mean, in most areas of life it typically isn't, but especially true in stand-up comedy, right?
Yeah, for sure.
What
have you felt that?
Totally. And I'm just curious, like what resonates with you about that idea?
Yeah. So we talked about it a little bit, I think last podcast, but you win your night on a competition and you think like, you think you're so funny and you think you're great. But literally the next show with that same material, you eat crap. And then you're like, oh my gosh, like I'm horrendous, you know? So, and then you go on the next one and you're like, okay, I did okay on that. So it's almost like, it's really weird, but it's almost like life, you know, like every day you get up, you try your best or you don't try your best. But like, but then like, you know, great things happen to you, but then you try, like you put in the same effort level and you have a train wreck of a day. That's almost like, that's almost what comedy is personified.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think, did we talk about this in the last episode about how, like, when you're big enough to have like a following, whether it's local or regional, national, international, whatever, but when you're big enough to have a following, like it's a different ball game, I think, than going to an open mic where nobody knows you and cares about you, right? When you have a following, these people literally took time to find your show, to book a ticket, to pay for a ticket, right? To give you their money to come see you.
Find a babysitter.
Yeah, dude, they're coming to see you and they're ready to laugh. And it's almost a guarantee that whatever you say and do, they're going to laugh. I remember Nate Bargatze saying, like, one of the struggles about, you know, being at the stage he's at in like arenas and big shows like that is like he doesn't know, or he has a hard time telling if the laughter is because the joke's funny or because it's him saying the joke.
Man, that's got to be tough, huh? I wonder if some ever try to go undercover under a different name, like an open mic, you know? Like,
yeah.
That's got to be tough. Yeah.
So, yeah, dude, like, I don't know, like, it's weird because on the open mic end, you don't have the fans and you have that challenge. And then at the other end of the spectrum, you're so big, you have a following and they're going to laugh at everything you say and do.
Yeah.
And so maybe the sweet spot is like somewhere in the middle. I don't know. Seems like the sweet spot's on the far end of the spectrum where everybody's going to laugh no matter what you say and do. Yeah, I think that's a fascinating perspective that he gave on that. Yeah, I don't know. Like, it's the same thing. Like, if you're doing an open mic on a Tuesday or Wednesday and people don't have to pay to come, it's a totally different ballgame than people coming on a Saturday to a first or second show and they've paid to come and they're ready to laugh after a long work week. They've come
100%.
expecting it and they've paid to laugh. They're going to laugh no matter what, probably, right?
Probably.
That's the expectation they're coming with. So you just don't get that at a mic, dude. It's just a different thing. You know, it's a different animal.
You know what else isn't linear is writing jokes. So sometimes like out of nowhere, you'll write a banger, like, and it'll feel so easy. And then one day, you know, the next day you're like, all right, let's write some more. And you're like, why'd the chicken cross the road? You know, you're like, you have no clue what to write.
That's a really good point. Like, joke writing is nothing but ups and downs. Right. It really is. Like, I find it so fulfilling, but also just so, I don't know, frustrating sometimes. Yeah. So I mentioned the jokes that I had sent today. I was writing for this show, and I was going to tell you some of them here. Is for this show, there's a portion of the show where they do jokes based on the week's headlines, and the first pass of the script goes on Tuesday. So all jokes got to be in, you know, preferably by Tuesday. So I'm trying to write headline jokes based on things that have happened within the last 24 to like 48 hours, right? So I'm going to run these by you. I know we're not even to this portion of the show yet, but just curious what you think and do the brutal, honest thing. They're funny, laugh. But so NATO is buying $10 million in U.S. weapons for Ukraine, but no Amazon Prime, so they'll have to wait 3 to 5 business days.
That would be a smirk one.
Yeah, in response to NATO's announcement, Russia sent 136 drones into Ukraine. 135 of them didn't work because they were made in China. Crickets. Over the weekend, fires quickly spread through the Grand Canyon when crews protested the use of aerial retardant, otherwise known as pilots at Spirit Airlines.
I don't think they can put that one on, but I think that's funny. Oh my goodness.
Elmo's X account was recently flagged for anti-Semitic and racist slurs. Soon after, he was offered a spot in the Trump administration. You don't even want to hear what Oscar the Grouch posted. Female senators is pushing for more female crash test dummies. So, if you see a guy driving around with a plastic woman in his car, don't judge. Probably just Jeff Bezos. Okay, anyways, he just got married in Italy or whatever.
Okay.
So those are all headlines-driven jokes. And you see, like, I guess the point I'm bringing that up, some of those felt really easy to write.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them I just freaking wrestled with. Right. And I'm writing in somebody else's voice from somebody else's perspective there. But yeah, I don't know.
And the other thing,
yeah.
Yeah. And it's like trying to get the wording right, but then also, you know, there's a certain formula for comedy. So you want to have the biggest punch as the last word. So
Right.
yeah, there's, it's always challenging, but it's like, that's such a fun part of writing comedy is like that challenge and that puzzle. So cool.
Yeah. I think it's a good exercise, dude, to try to pick a comedian and imagine yourself, you were going to send them some jokes and try to like write in their voice from their persona. Like it's really challenging.
I wonder if you could almost do that. Find somebody with a similar persona as you and pretend to write openers for them. See if that would work.
Huh. So can you think of any other comedians like off the top of your head, like the Transparent Mess? Like who would that
like Larry, for you, like Larry the Cable Guy, I would say.
the cable guy. Shoot, bro. Man, that's funny. That's a good joke.
Like you have some level of like Nate Bargatze to you because you talk a lot about family and like those like funny situations. You have a little bit of that to you.
Dude, that's a little Larry the Cable Guy. That was a good one. Dude, that's good stuff. I don't know. Anyways, I throw that out there for everybody to, try that exercise. It's fun. So let's work on one of your jokes. What do you?
Yeah. Okay. So this is, I've written this, and this is kind of like the first stab at it. So we don't spank our kids. Stories are way more effective. Like when my son eats chips and his mouth's open, I'm going to do some type of act out like, because that kid is brutal listening to him. And I'll be like, hey, eat with your mouth shut. And he'll be like, I am. And then I just say, I used to have another kid that ate like that. And then he'd say, what happened to him? Don't know. We went fishing and he never came back. Then I told him, then I like hold the bag out, say, want another chip? But don't feel, this is a callback, but don't feel bad. The little crap would have killed me for a Hyundai.
Okay. The little twerp, the little brat.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. So, yeah, we don't spank our kids. Stories are way more effective. Like when my son eats chips with his mouth open. It took a little while to get to that act out. I think you again like could do 2 more punchlines probably right there. We don't spank our kids. You do give the alternative, right, that you're gonna essentially imply that you murder them or feed them to the crocodiles or whatever it is that happens. This could go dark so fast. Oh my gosh. It's like we don't spank our kids. I can't even get to the punchline. We don't spank our kids. When they're bad, we just draw them warm bath water and then lower them into it, right?
Oh my gosh.
We don't spank our kids. Stories are way more effective.
And I thought of almost having like a pretentious feel, like I know what I'm doing because I'm smart. I know what I'm doing,
Yeah. Yeah, we don't spank our kids. Stories are way more effective. Like when my son eats chips with his mouth open. All right, so here's the thing. Like the line from stories are way more effective to like when my son eats chips with his mouth open. Like there's a break there for me that doesn't follow logically.
We need a punchline to we don't spank our kids, I think.
Yep, I agree.
And then I can almost get on to like, yeah, we actually use stories or we tell stories.
Yeah, we don't spank our kids. We use tasers.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
You know,
Heighten it.
What could you throw in there?
Oh yeah, because we use a full fist or something. We use a closed fist, so that's a punch. Yeah, we don't spank our kids. We use a closed fist.
Yeah, exactly. That's funny. What if you were like in our house we don't spank our kids. Instead, we prefer to yell ourselves hoarse and let the resentment build. I don't. What else? You got the bathtub one, the full
That's almost
fist,
what that
the
is, too.
taser. You could put something there.
But then, you could. Yeah, we for sure. There's a punchline that needs to go there, because then it actually buys you time for the rest of the start of that story. Then, too.
Right.
I always think of when I write jokes, almost like, okay, if somebody has to listen this long, and if it's a longer setup or something, I better have a really good joke, and I better have some punchlines to pay them back, for their time. So I try to think of it as if they're listening to my setup, I want to pay them back.
Yeah, that's a good way to think about it. Yeah. Hey, circling back real quick on a tangent to what you said about, we were talking about writing a few minutes ago. I had a comedian acquaintance say to me today, I don't expect that when I write, everything is going to work or be good.
Mm-hmm.
And then he used this analogy. He likened it to cleaning pipes. He's like, when I write, it's like unclogging the drain, unclogging the pipes. And, I just got to get stuff out to make room for the next good thing.
Yeah, right. Yeah, if you sit there and wait for the perfect word sometimes, that perfect word will never come.
Right.
A bad idea or a good premise with some bad words on it is way better than nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, I just thought that was a good analogy.
It's a really good point.
We don't spank our kids, we just publicly humiliate them. So there's got to be something there that you can do.
So I'm gonna write that punchline here. So, all right, we're good with that. I'll find a punchline for that.
We don't spank our this might work, dude.
Okay.
We don't spank our kids, but the Russian nanny we hired does.
That's what we pay the nanny for.
Yeah, that's what we pay the Russian nanny for. I think Russian's funny there.
Yeah, because they're harsh.
Yes.
That's what
we pay the Russian nanny for. I think that'll get a laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't spank our kids. In our house, we don't spank our kids. That's what we hired the Russian nanny for. Yeah, dude. I think that's it. My wife and I have found that or realized that my wife and I think that stories are more effective.
Yeah.
For example, when my son eats chips with his mouth open, act out, I just say, hey, I used to have another kid like that ate like that. So now it's getting long again. He goes, what happened to him? Don't know. We went fishing and never came back. So it takes me a long time to get to the next laugh.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we could get one more laugh in there somewhere.
So the act out, maybe that would be a smirk. It wouldn't be a laugh. Let's see. Like when my son eats chips, almost like what does he eat chips like? I'm sure you can get a laugh there. An analogy. Yeah,
stories are weird. What if you just moved straight to? That's what we pay the Russian nanny for. For example, my son. Well, I don't know if you need to do, for example. So I've got a son and he eats chips with his mouth open. You could do a punchline there. Yeah, I guess you.
Does that even have to be there though? Do I have to even give an example? Because they don't need to know that for the punchline to work.
Yeah.
Like whenever I have to discipline my kid, stories are way more effective.
Yeah. When the Russian nanny's not around.
Oh yeah.
I tell scary stories or I tell story. What if that's it? Like scary stories. That's kind of interesting to me rather than just stories. I don't know.
You're almost like if you say scary stories though, you're almost giving them a hint at the punchline.
That's true. Yeah. Your preview of coming attractions kind of thing.
What I tell them a nighttime story, which can be dark.
Yeah, that's what we pay the Russian nanny for. Stories are. What if you did stories are also effective? Stories are also effective. Like for example, when my son eats chips with his mouth open, I just say, I used to have a kid like that. What if you made it more specific? Like, so how many kids do you have? Do you have 2 kids? 3. What if you made it like your brother or your sister or something like that? What if at the top you're like, in our house we have 4 kids, but we don't spank them. So or 3 kids, but we don't spank them. So you give us that number. In our house we have 3 kids.
And
but we
actually,
don't-
in my set, they'll already know that because that's in another
okay.
setup.
So they already know that you have 3 kids. And I wonder here if you could do something like, I just say your 4th sibling or your 4th brother or whatever used to eat like that. Or what if you even gave a name? Like, do you know your older brother Kenny used to eat like that? Kenny? Who's that? What happened to him?
Who's Kenny?
Like something to that effect. And then you don't need to say don't know.
Yeah.
You could just say, we went fishing one day. He never came back. Your brother Kenny used to eat like that.
That's funny. Yeah.
He's like, Kenny, who's that?
Kenny, who's that?
Or it could be like whatever name, and just Kenny was the first one. Kenny, who's that? What happened? Yeah, Kenny, who's that? What happened?
Kenny, who's that? Yeah.
I guess if you said your brother Kenny used to eat like, Kenny, who's that? What happened? We went fishing one time. He never came back.
Yeah, I like that. Went fishing. He never came back.
What if it's like I took him fishing?
Yeah. Okay.
I took him fishing one time. He never came back. I'll take him fishing.
Then I go, wanted another chip.
Yeah. I don't think you need to say, then I hold out the bag and say. It's just like,
Oh,
then
yeah.
I say.
I'm just describing my act out. That's all.
Yeah. So then I say, want another chip? Yeah.
Cool. I like it. Thank you.
Yeah.
This got a lot tighter. Like, it was a huge paragraph before. This is good.
I don't think you even need that last line about the Hyundai necessarily either.
That was a call. That was a callback
Okay. All right.
to the joke before. Do you think it's not a great callback?
I don't know the joke before, so
It was basically my kid came to me and said, "Hey, Dad, are you going to die soon?" And then I said,
oh yes, I know
"No."
that joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe keep it. I don't know. Try it.
Okay.
You can.
I'll
So you're
give it a
sandwiching this, but you're sandwiching this spanking joke between the Hyundai thing. Or, dude, I wonder. So I just say your brother Kenny used to eat like that. He goes, Kenny, who's that? What happened? The nanny took him fishing. He never came back. So in this case, you blame it on the nanny. That's kind of funny too.
Yeah. Almost
Want
like the
another
nanny
chip?
does the nanny does all the dirty work. Almost
Yes.
like a mafia. Like, yeah.
Yeah. I would even say you could get rid of just want another chip. Yeah. So tell the joke now as it stands. See what happens.
Okay. We don't spank our kids. That's what we pay our Russian nanny for. Stories are also effective. Like when my son eats chips with his mouth open, I just say, your brother Kenny used to eat like that. He goes, Kenny, who's that? What happened? Nanny took him fishing. Never came back. Want another chip?
Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
Cool.
I think it's a lot tighter.
Yeah, it's a lot tighter. Cool. Thank you. Let's
Yeah,
check out
yeah.
yours.
All right. So here's mine. We showed a video on this podcast several weeks back, and then I was randomly thinking of this video of the Amishmen moving the barn like earlier in the week or like over the weekend, I guess. And so I just started writing this.
And you saw some Amish people in Michigan too, I think.
I did. Yeah, I saw
Yeah.
3 Amish couples at the beach in Michigan, which is kind of funny. Yeah. So they rode there on their mules. No, just kidding.
I'm curious. What were they in horses?
They were going, I think they were on vacation, but they were like going in all the like shops and stuff like that. It was kind of
cool.
interesting. Yeah, probably scandalous for them, but
That's the type of Amish I'd be.
yeah, I don't know. They might have been like on honeymoon or something, and the lady bought I don't know, a full body coat or something.
You can find that in Michigan for sure.
Yeah. So all right, here it is. Here's the joke.
Okay.
Or little bit. I saw a video of 150 Amish men lifting a barn. No electricity, but definitely steroids. Like how are they doing this? It looks in the video, it looks like a barn with legs, and you hear a bunch of grunting. Okay, not even grunting. I added that to make myself feel better. Like I can't even pull the string on the mower without getting hurt, right? So I'm just watching this in awe. They're literally lifting and carrying even their horses are off to the side, like, and then do the act out of a jaw drop. So
Yeah.
that's the start of a bit right there.
The first thing I think, I can't even pull the string on the mower without getting hurt. I feel like that could be such a funny act out of you doing that and just going like, oh, or something.
That's good. The sound.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Putting the act out there.
Yeah. And then after like 3 pulls, you just wave it off.
It's like, gotta ice my shoulder. Yeah. I think one weakness here, like it looks like a barn with legs and there's a bunch of grunting. Like I don't feel like that works. And then I say, okay, not even grunting. I added that to make myself feel better. That seems irrelevant. Like it doesn't seem funny to me.
Right. How are they doing this? Looks like a barn. I think the how are they doing this could be kind of a funny premise, but it looks like a barn with legs and there's a bunch of grunting. Yeah, that's not really too funny.
Yeah. And then like not even grunting. I added that to make myself feel better. Like that doesn't really even logically like even flow. It doesn't really make sense. I think I'm gonna nix that one. So then it becomes I saw a video of 150 Amish men lifting a barn. No electricity, but definitely steroids. Like I can't even pull the string on the mower without getting hurt. Like so I'm watching this in awe. They're literally lifting and carrying a barn. Even their horses are off to the side, like, yeah. So there's 2 act outs there back to back.
Yeah. My sonny.
I think, because you've seen the rest of this bit too.
Yeah.
And I've added some to it and modified some of it since I sent you it. But I think this is going to be a very physical, act out driven bit.
100%. Yeah. You'll probably be sweating by the time the bit's over. Be doing the Macarena.
Look like I lifted a barn.
Like you lifted a barn, but you just talked about it.
Yeah, exactly. Like I pull a muscle just thinking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
150.
I had something in here too. No electricity, but definitely steroids. And then I had something in there about like brother or Bishop Jebediah, something like that, popping pills or doing creatine or
I thought
something.
that was really funny
Yeah.
in that original one you sent. I like that part.
Yeah. So maybe I'll put that back.
Because that one I thought was like laugh out loud funny, even when I read it and you didn't even perform it.
All right. So note to self, keep that in the all right. Okay.
I like that it's self-deprecating. Like I can't even pull the string on the mower without getting hurt.
Right. Okay. Cool. Anything else there?
So I'm watching this in awe, literally lifting and carrying a.
I had the horses so they have their something like this. Their horses pull buggies. Their horses do the plowing. They're like over there thinking, I hope they don't figure out we can do this too. Move the barn, trying to get like inside the horse's mindset there.
Yeah. I almost think when you said even their horses off to the side were like jaw drop, I didn't envision like, well, yeah, those things are really hard working too, because they don't have machinery. It almost has to like be said somehow. Like, you know how hard those horses work. They were like,
right.
What the heck?
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Or else it just sounds like farm animals talking to each other, That can go in the sitcom too.
Shoot, man. All right, good stuff. Well, what do you got for us in current events, man? What's going on in the world?
Yeah, so your ex-girlfriend was arrested for texting a man 159,000 times.
Arrested for texting man 159. Dude, 100. Like, who counted that?
It was over, I think it was like over 10 months or something. And it was like, it averaged about like, I forget what it was. It averaged like 500 texts a day.
Gosh.
I mean, where was this girl when I was trying to date?
Dude, 150. I don't think I've sent that many texts in my life.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, even like 500 texts a day, that's probably good for at least a month, right? That is wild.
Dude.
In some of the texts, I guess, she talked about like eating them like sushi,
dude.
Which it's not the worst thing.
What, man? So did she went to jail?
Yeah, she went to jail. Not yeah, like eating them like sushi, like cutting them up type thing, like
Oh my gosh.
carnivore. Yeah, yeah,
Oh my good.
yeah. So she
Wow.
did. So I'm guessing she actually went to jail more for the threats than the texting. You know?
In court, the woman was like, "Your Honor, that's not true. It was 157,000, not 159."
Yeah. Relax. It was 157,000.
She was charged with attempted dating, dude. So stupid.
Dude, that girl would be an amazing employee though, huh? Like how dedicated would she be?
Dude, she has no excuse for never replying back to anybody.
Yeah. Oh, why didn't you get back to me? Oh, I was sending my boy 500 texts. That is crazy.
The whole story is just bonkers, dude.
I would like to see that guy's face like on a daily basis. Him like looking at his phone like, oh my goodness, another batch of 500.
She's being another charge, right? She's being charged with attempted murder of a cell phone battery, dude.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the keypad on her phone must be just like worn out, dude.
Looks like an old ATM machine where you can't see anything.
Dude, like how that's like not even sleeping, dude. If you're sending that many texts.
You almost have to have, and like this was before AI, right? So you would have to do this manually. Let me okay, 500 a day divided by 24. That's okay, that's about 21 texts an hour.
That doesn't sound as bad.
No, but you sleep for 8 hours, let's say. So let's 500 divided by 16 hours. That's 31 texts an hour. So every 2 minutes, you're sending one out.
Yeah, that sounds crazy. Like 59,000 texts. Like
she's in the shower. She's got one hand out texting.
Dude, at least you know she doesn't have commitment issues.
Right. She is not going to cheat on you. Like she'll kill you, but she won't cheat on you.
Dude, it's like like a woman was arrested for texting a man 159,000 times, and 159,000 of those times he didn't respond. It's
someone on like Twitter turned him into the jerk that like he didn't reply or something, you know?
Really?
No, I'm joking. Like, there's like classic guy didn't return his text or something, you know?
Oh, dude. Yeah. Wow. 159. This is one of the more amazing stories I've seen recently. It's kind of, it makes you kind of glad that cell phones weren't a thing when I was growing up, but yeah, I don't know. I guess
makes you feel like you dodged a bullet a little, you know?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, especially as you're talking about cutting him up and yeah.
Wow.
When
another
she heard the charges read, she replied to the judge, "OMG, WTF, LOL, JK."
Her fingers had to be so fast. That many texts.
The police report describes her as crazy, lonely, and a really bad speller.
I think they only went on one date.
I'm surprised they went on any. So what was she texting him the whole time? Like she on her phone the whole time?
Don't let 7 of those go. They were during dinner, actually.
Man, that's funny.
Yeah. Another interesting thing I saw was, let's see. So children's books. It was a study on a bunch of different children's books, and based on the animal, a lot of the times, like it'll be a certain gender. So like a bear will almost always be skewed towards a male, but like a rabbit or a frog will be skewed towards a female. I thought that was kind of interesting. So there's actually like a trend of whatever animal you put in a children's book. A lot of times it's like that same gender, which kind of makes sense. Like a wolf will probably, it's like more aggressive. It'll probably be a guy,
Okay. All right. So like a skunk would be somebody from Kentucky, but that's where I'm from. Interesting.
Yeah.
So children's books base animal genders based on the animal.
Based on the animal, yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Which I'm curious, is it like, do they do market research and they say this would do better? Or is it just one of those things that people's intuition. Like, okay, I need a male. Let's do a raccoon or whatever, you know?
So it's interesting, like right, if you kind of reverse engineer that,
Mm-hmm.
then all right, so if a bear is always like a male,
Mm-hmm.
and what's one of the female, like a cat is always a
Yeah.
female,
Yep.
then you could almost reverse engineer it and through adult eyes read it as a story about a man and a woman or a boy and a girl.
Interesting. Yeah. Yeah. And not even put like he or she, you could even say they and you would know almost in your mind.
Yeah,
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, what do you do? I mean, I guess maybe this is why this is why children's books never have cougars in them. It's so dumb.
I think that was your best one yet. I loved it.
Oh, I don't know. All right. So
All right. So the next one, did you hear about this? There's a trend going on where people are homeschooling their kids by taking them to Disney World. So every day they're going to Disney World.
I haven't heard of this. No.
It's like this lady, I was reading, this lady said like, oh yeah, we help the kids learn concept of time. So we'll have them wait in line on a ride like for 45 minutes. So they'll feel what 45 minutes feels like.
Dude.
That is so weird.
Yeah. I don't even know what to say to this. Yeah, I mean, isn't Disney expensive?
Yeah, dude. Like, well, math would be great. It would be like, all right, Cheerio for like $45 and it's like a Mickey hat for $85. How much is that? Add that up.
Mom, why did Dad spend $400 on beer today?
Yeah, exactly. Because he's got to come every day.
Dude,
And
that seems like expensive homeschooling, dude.
Yeah, yeah. And like you would think after 3 weeks, kids would be over it. They would not want to go. They'd be pissed off. And
So like, is Disney opening like new rides and attractions? Like, I don't know, like their newest one, it's a small classroom after all. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. There's got to be so many holes in the curriculum on that. Like they're like, oh yeah, when we want to teach them about animals, we take them to Animal Planet or Animal Kingdom. But it's
they go see a talking parrot.
Yeah. Or it's a small world after all. They like throw them in that, and then well, let's go visit Denmark today.
Like, it's almost like the parents are preparing these kids for their future jobs, which is to work at the concessions at Disney.
Yeah, I wonder, dude. They should be able to get an internship there.
Oh man, yeah, that's crazy. I mean, you gotta have some money to do this.
Yeah, you would. This is like a for sure like rich person thing to do this. But like a dumb rich person thing, I feel like, to do this, you know?
Yeah.
But so yeah, we're moving down to Florida and
right. your children's learning geography while sitting on Goofy's lap.
Yeah. Or do you think like you want to teach them about like, I don't even know. Like, oh yeah, you want to teach them about like Somali pirates, but you take them on like that one pirate ride that's like Captain Hook pirate. You're like, oh, close enough.
This dude, our world's crazy.
Yeah.
It's like, you know that one of these moms was the lady who was texting 159,000 times. Yeah, Disney's the happiest place on earth to learn math. Like, this is, man, crazy stuff, dude. Yeah.
But part of, I think, the magic of Disney World is you only go there once every 4 or 5 years. And by the time you're like, 7 to 10 days in, you want to leave. I just could not imagine having to deal with that traffic every single day and just all of the BS every day, you know?
Yep. To be honest with you, I'm 44 and a half. I've never been to Disney. Ever.
Oh, you haven't?
No. So maybe one day, but yeah, I've never been.
Okay. Yeah. My wife went to Disney quite a bit. We went a couple times when growing up, but my wife went quite a bit like growing up. So yeah, we go a decent amount. I can't even go on the rides because I get motion sick. So I just walk around and like hold stuff all day. It's pretty cool.
It's just funny, like standing in line to learn time.
Yeah.
To learn patience. You stand in line for 2 hours for a 90-second ride, dude.
That's what it is. I'll think of that too, because I have like an analytical brain. You'll wait for so long and then you'll be like, wait, That was like you traded 45 minutes of your life for 90 seconds.
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. You're actually teaching kids that, which is a terrible lesson.
Right.
You know, that if you wait long enough, if you wait long enough and spend enough money to do it, then, you know, a couple seconds of a thrill is worth it. It's just like,
You need that Russian nanny to stand in line for you.
yeah, right. Oh, dude. Yeah, this is wild. I hadn't heard of this.
Yeah. Well, look into it.
Yeah. Well,
One last thing. So we got a interesting question here. If you were arrested with no explanation, what would your friends assume you did?
I think the people who know me, like if I just was arrested out of nowhere with no explanation, the people who know me would say that I opened my mouth. Like I said something to the wrong person in the wrong place at the wrong time. Or like I just opened my mouth. I said something.
Did you say something to the cop? The wrong thing?
Maybe. I mean, it doesn't matter who it was. Like
Yeah.
where it went down, like it would involve me saying something for sure. It would be me not keeping my mouth shut. Yeah.
Would you be peacefully arrested, or would you have like your legs zip tied to your feet or to your hands?
Peacefully arrested, I would think. I'm a pacifist, so the nonviolent aspect of me there, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what it'd have to be, dude. What about you?
I could see that. Me, it would be like a prank or a joke that just went too far, I think. Yeah, I don't like ruining people's day, but I do like messing with people a little bit. Like one time it was one of my coworkers. He used his computer for everything, and I mean everything. He took it home, and what I did was I put a wireless mouse, the USB in the back of his computer, his docking station. So over 1 year, I would just turn on the mouse and move it a little bit. Now we had a company that the IT department could actually get in your computer and like, you know, whatever, download software, whatever they need to do. So every time he moved, he'd be like, they're in it again. They're in it again. What are they doing? And he goes, I swear to God, if they tell me to come down there, I'm throwing this thing out the window.
You're gonna be like responsible for the next office shooting, dude. Good grief.
He went around to like each person in the department, and he had everyone stare him straight in the eye, and he goes, have you been messing with my computer? But I also called the IT department to give him a heads up. I told him what I was doing, and then just so when he calls down, just to go with it. So,
dude, that's great. That's great. My whole college career, my undergrad, my 4 years was really just 4 years of pranks. It was so fun, dude. You'll have to talk about those sometime on the show, but
nice. Were you in a dorm?
Yeah, I was. Yeah. I got some great stories about that. Yeah, that's funny, dude. That's funny.
Yeah.
Getting
cool.
him.
But yeah, same thing. I'd probably do it to the wrong person at the wrong time and too much.
High school too, dude. We did a lot of pranks in high school, and two of them, one almost went really, really foul.
What was it?
Got chased with a gun. Me and my buddy. Yeah, dude. This is a true story. And no lie. All right, so I'm going to tell this real story. Me and my childhood best friend, Josh. So I lived in this trailer park in Kentucky, bro. And he and I, like, we were obsessed with making booby traps, okay? So I'm not kidding. We set up booby traps all over this freaking trailer park, dude. Like, and
that sounds like hell.
Dude, dude, these were everywhere. When we're together, like, this is what we talk about. 40, in our mid-40s. So, like, just this one time, there was this crazy guy in our trailer park named Paul. He was an alcoholic. Every word was a cuss word. There wasn't a word that came out. There wasn't one word that came out of his mouth that wasn't a cuss word. This guy was nuts. Like, certifiably nuts. And I don't know what it was, dude, but I do remember there was this cat that kept getting under his trailer. Now, have you ever lived in a trailer? You know, that drives trailer people crazy when a cat is like up under there.
Why?
So
you can just hear it, or
you can hear it, and it rips your the pink stuff that like keeps your house warm, like it's insulation. It rips your insulation out from under there. And that's part of why they get up in there. They'll get up in there and nest and have babies and stuff. Anyways,
damn.
this it's because it's warm, right?
Yeah.
So and hidden. This cat dude is like under his trailer. Days before, maybe weeks before, Josh and I had set up a tripwire like down by my trailer right outside our back door, dude. And we forgot about it, dude. Tripwire was there a long time. Anyway, he's got this shotgun, dude. I'm not kidding. This cat is just booking it and he's chasing it downhill. And dude, he hits this tripwire. He's got a shotgun in his, it doesn't go off, thankfully, because it would have went right through the trailer wall. But dude, he eats it. He's all muddy and scraped up and bloody. Dude, he comes to our front door and him and my stepdad end up out in the driveway ready to fight. Like they're in each other's face, like fists ready to go. The whole like trailer park is watching this.
So does he put the shotgun down to fight, or?
I don't remember. You know, that's a really good question, but I think he did. Like they were ready to go, dude. They were in a circle. Everybody circled around them, and
This feels like high school, but like these are grown men.
These are grown men, dude, and they didn't end up fighting. I don't know why, and I still can't believe it. But that was one of the. That's a hilarious visual, like. Because I saw this happen. I saw him running down the hill with the shotgun, and we're like booking it too. Like this cat, like anyways, the whole thing, and yeah. So
was the wire like literally wire metal?
Literally wire. Yes. Yeah.
And you know
the
when
wire was still up after he tripped, dude. It didn't break.
Hey, you guys did well on that.
We used to do all sorts of things, dude. Like we would use the really tight fishing line, the tout fishing line, thick fishing line, and stretch it across from one side of the road to the other at night. And dude, when people drive by, it just shaves their car antennas off. It takes the whole antenna off. Yeah. Dude.
Would they stop?
Yeah. Yep. We had people chase us after that. Got caught once. Yeah. The guys held us down and were like, they knew us. And were threatening to like kill us if we ever did something like that again. But it was snowy that night. They held us down in the snow, like pinned us down. It was crazy stuff. Crazy.
Did you have to buy a new antenna then?
No.
That is
but
crazy.
We were always doing crazy stuff like that, dude. Like college was fun too. But yeah. Anyways, good times.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, what a fun podcast.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on, and yeah, thanks everybody for watching or listening. I don't know. There's not a lot of people listening yet, but so what? We're still having fun. If you are listening, share the podcast, like it, help us get this thing off the ground. And yeah, we'd really appreciate that. Check us out on YouTube and Spotify and all that. Check out our personal websites. Is it BrandonLatek.com?
No, BrandoComedy.com.
BrandoComedy.com, and then MichaelHalcom.live. And then you'll find our socials and stuff on there that you can follow. But yeah, good stuff, man. Thanks, Brandon. Thanks, everybody. We're going to stop there and say we hope that helps.
Thanks. Could you keep it up?
It's the Pro-Life Podcast.
It's pro-life, pro-life. A movement and a podcast. It's pro-life, pro-life.